Mr Chair.
I call Richard Prosser.
Thank you, Mr Chair. I also won't take very much of the House's time on this. I'd like to echo some of the sentiments and statements of my colleague, Mr O'Connor, with regards to certainly the model that the Horticulture Export Authority provides for possibly rolling out to other sectors of the primary sector. I do have a couple of questions around the Minister's supplementary order paper, which he's partly addressed, Mr Chair, and we did discuss this at caucus this morning. Obviously, it's a fairly short notice. The Minister was kind enough to give us a heads up on this, and there were some concerns amongst New Zealand First members that this situation has come about. I do confess that I missed at least one meeting of the Select Committee when this was being discussed, and this omission has obviously slipped through then. So my apologies to the House for that. Had I been on my game and there for every meeting, it obviously wouldn't have. The Minister has explained that the Government did publicly consult on enabling the authority to collect both fees and levies, and there was no opposition to this proposal. However, the reference to levies was removed during the drafting of the bill at the request of the authority due to a misunderstanding, and this technical SOP rectifies this. I mean, this obviously we take on spec from the Minister, have no reason to believe that anything else occurred, but some members of our caucus would like some further clarification of that, if the Minister would be good enough to provide it. Perhaps not even if the Minister wants to take the chair again to point me in the direction of where that could be found, that would be helpful. Because the one thing that we don't want to be doing is supporting a measure that doesn't actually have the support of industry itself. But as I say, again, we take that on spec that the authority does speak for its members, and we recognise that the sector groups that are part of the authority are there voluntarily. Presume they would have made some noise if they had some objection to it. I do have to say that for it to have got through the officials, through the Ministry and through the Select Committee with this omission in place is rather sloppy, and obviously we point the finger at government for that, and undertake to ensure that when New Zealand First is leading the government, these sorts of errors won't happen. But if the Minister could point me in the direction of some supporting information, or give me some more verification, some more assurance that in fact this is what the industry itself is asking for, because as I understand it, as the Minister explained it, the collection of levies is something which happens between the authority and its member groups anyway, but it happens on an individualised basis. This SOP will empower the legislation to say that the authority can do that on across the board, and if industry is happy with that, then we're happy with that. But we would like to have that confirmed. Otherwise, we support the rest of the bill as we have from the start. Obviously, have some. We have a lot of skin in the game as far as New Zealand Link is concerned, and like other parties in the House, understand the importance of New Zealand Link working together, single desk marketing, large cooperatives, those sorts of approaches, and this is a halfway measure to that, which, as Mr O'Connor points out, could be applied to the meat industry and perhaps other sectors. So, confirmation on the SAP aside, we continue to support the bill, Mr Chair, and I look forward to hearing more from the Minister on that. Thank you.